Hello and welcome to the assembly guide of the Replicant, which is this little revolver here. Doesn't take that much filament, like about 400 grams, so it's in terms of 3D printed blasters, it's an okay weight. Let's get right into it. This is the frame, which you might have some issues with, like up here. That shouldn't matter too much. But if you want to be safe, just take a scalpel or an X-Acto knife and just shear that off. In my opinion, it's not really worth it getting a support all the way up there. Just take your scalpel, shave it off. Also, if those things are still there and your cooling is somewhat good, that won't matter too much. Other things of note, there's these two parts. Print only one of them. If you want the dart gate to be closed when the slide is forward, print the one with this, because this is the dart gate and this doesn't have the gate, so you don't have to really prime it all the way back to get more darts in. More on the loading mechanism, there's two different slides and one has three extra parts. This medium-sized pin, this lock, and this here. So yeah, you can just install this as a slide lock when you're reloading it, so the slide doesn't accidentally go back forward. So this has like a toggle lever on top, which is a bit of an unconventional slide lock, but I like it quite a lot and it works reasonably well. Okay, let's get right into it. We take the frame here, the rear frame, and we install the trigger right away. So the way you do this, you have this little slot down here, put the trigger into it, line all of that up, take one of these short pins and push that in there. Should have a decent friction, shouldn't fall out. If it does, you can of course glue it or resize your prints. Or you can just use sandpaper to make them smaller if they don't fit. Good, we have this. Now next up, we assemble our grip. So the way you do that is you have this little hole here and the trigger guard here. Slide that into each other. That should also hold reasonably well already. Then we take a pin, push that through here. Also, as always, if you think a pin moves too easily, you can twist it a little bit while it's in there, and that will increase your friction. That's because of the layer lines. Next up, we take the frame and put it in like this. So we have two more of the grip sized pins. Put those in there. And one of the short frame pins. I want that to be like more like that. Yeah. Right. Pretty comfy in my opinion. Good. Next up, we are gonna install the reinforcement bars. There's little slots in the front there that you just put them into. They kind of act like aluminium flat bars, so they're just the reinforcement and the connection to the front of the frame. I'm not sure if it's really needed on a blaster this small, but I like having it. It's kind of like a fail-safe in case you drop your blaster, it doesn't snap off immediately. Like if I did everything with dovetails like this, if you had a bigger part, that would be pretty unstable. For a muzzle cap, that's okay. Okay, so far so good. Next up, we're gonna assemble our cylinder. So what you need is, it's a cylinder, bro. This little part here, that's our retention of sorts. And this part, these have counter-rotating hooks, basically. So this thing always stays static, and this hook jumps over, grabs, and then pulls it over this hook. So it's kind of like a ratchet mechanism. Right, the way you install this, you take this part and put it into the slot here. The slot is exactly the size that it should fit easily. So put it in there, it should friction in there somewhat. Next up, you take this part and put it in with the slot facing forward. Also, in case you don't like the loading port on this side, mirror this part, this part, this part, and the slide. That should be it. That just turns the blaster around. The rest should be already mirrored. Where's that pin? Now you need the big pin. Put it in through the back here, so you're securing this part a little bit. Now you put that to the left position. You take the cylinder and carefully drop it in and then push it up so it engages. Then you can push that pin forward. Also, later on, should you want to change your retention parts for some reason, like if the hooks wear out or something after like, I don't know how many shots, maybe if you have a really abrasive filament, you might need to change it from time to time. You can just, like when the slide is on here later on, pull the slide back. That gives you enough space to go into here with some pliers and pull the pin out again. So you can take this like entire assembly back out and service the blaster without taking more of it apart. So in case you need maintenance, that's the way you do it. Okay, next up, we're gonna take care of the slide. The slide has a cam track here. So I would strongly suggest adding grease. Just there, maybe back there. So yeah, for obvious reasons. What did I just drop? I hope that wasn't an important pin. Now looked like it was this thing, I guess. Where you also need grease is on that dovetail. That's the retention that keeps the slide locked down. And we slide that on from the front here. And now you're gonna push that into place. So yeah, there's a little pin that moves the indexer. Now I can move that back. The first couple of primes will be pretty hard. And now it already wears in. So yeah, you kind of need to break it in, but that's like really not a lot. Okay, next up, this is the connection block for the pusher. And you put the pusher in like this, so the hook is on the top side. Take one of those short pins that you already used for the frame. Push that through. And then we can go in here from the back, push it in. Should already lock to a degree. Now we have 3 really long pins. Those are for that. Like that. Now we can also install the slide lock. That has a little retention here and here. So you might need to click it in to get it to go in. Like that. Where's the correct pin? This one. If you're not sure about the size of a pin, just hold it next to the thing you want to put it into, and then you'll most likely see if it fits or not. Right, the way this slide lock works, it's like a toggle lever. If the thing is back down here, a little hook goes down that you can't put the slide forward. Well, you can with enough force, that's also by design, so you don't end up breaking the entire slide because the lock is in. But it won't go in by, like, on accident when rotating this. And to unlock it, you do this. Okay, now you take these blades and put them in like that. Like the chamfered part is facing outwards, so you don't end up grinding through the string you're using. That was a little bit too soft of a connection. So I'll turn these a little bit, make space for the next one. Alright, putting in the other one. So great. And the next one. Very nice. Next up, this thing. Just put that onto these reinforcements. Take the last two short pins. You might want a little tool to get into that point here. You might also be able to put it in with your fingernails or your fingers, depending on how thin your fingers are. There we go. Make that flush. Not really that easy to reach. Someone messaged me. Right, now the final steps. We throw stuff over our tables. Let's cut that here to make that a little easier. A bit wasteful. And tie a knot. So it's not really all that like pre-tensioned, but just slide a little bit. Shouldn't be too loose. No. That primes and the trigger also works. Then we give it the final tug. Shorten those so they just about stick out to the sides in case you need to adjust a bit later. I just like them having it a little bit longer so they don't accidentally slip out of the knot. Also, it doesn't really hurt the look that much. Then the last part is the muzzle cap. Has a dovetail here, so you push it in through the top. Also clicks, which is very nice. And push in the last pin. Right, to reload, we pull that back, put our slide lock in, and just put in darts, manually indexing. Works beautifully. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy building it. Let me know what you think. Also, if you have ideas, whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I can't pull off every idea, but maybe I can make something out of it. Who knows? Thank you for watching.